I'm in my hometown of Chester, and today I'm going to delve into the wine cellar of the Chester Grosvenor. Privately owned by the Duke of Westminster, there's reported to be over £150,000 worth of wine in there, and I'm hoping to get my hands on a few treats. Garry Clark, sommelier at the Chester Grosvenor Hotel. We're in the temperature-controlled wine cellar. Would you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, this is certainly one of the most impressive cellars I've ever worked in. When I first came here, there was just under £500,000 worth of stock here. We're now sitting on approximately £200,000 worth of stock. That's at cost price, of which equates to about 17,000 bottles. When I first started here just over 9 years ago, the cellar was, I would say, 60–70% old world and maybe 30% new world. That ratio has evolved over the last few years, and we're probably close to 50–50 now.
What is the oldest wine that we can find in the racks here?
At the moment, the oldest wine we have is a 1917 Clemens, which is a Barsac, a sweet wine from Bordeaux, which is it's the last of 3 bottles we had. To think that that's survived the end of the First Great War and survived the Second World War, and it's something still drinkable. It's something, well, touch wood, but you have an interaction with that. You actually get to drink it, hopefully, if it's still still in good condition.
As a sommelier, how far can you go in the profession?
It depends. I mean, there are various kind of opportunities you can follow there's the WSET, the Wines and Spirits Education Trust. They run a series of courses up to WSET diploma level, which is the kind of top tier, and then from there you've got the opportunity to go on and do the Master of Wine.
Is it something you've always wanted to do? Or?
I was fortunate enough to land a role working for Gordon Ramsay at his restaurant in Glasgow as a commis sommelier, and within a week the head sommelier had handed his notice in, and on my 3rd week there, it was me. And from there, I went to Gleneagles, did a couple of years at Gleneagles, again starting as a sommelier, and ended up as assistant head. And then this opportunity came along, and I've been here for 9 years now. So my role will involve updating and maintaining the wine list, so making sure that it's accurate, making sure that correct vintages are listed, it's correctly presented, that everything's in the right place. The wine list is a constantly evolving document, so you're always looking for new things. You're always looking to replace wines that you've finished. You've got to kind of keep constant with the world in general and where the customer is going to take you.
Do you notice any trends?
Yeah, I mean, our year follows a very predictable cycle, to be fair. From October, maybe September, the majority of the wines become very classic. So Burgundies, Bordeaux's. We do see a big sort of upsale in sales of Rioja come August and September. Then it goes very classical right the way through Christmas. Obviously a lot of fizz. And then the new year comes and the sort of credit card bills start hitting the mats, and people become a lot more frugal, and that's where South America really kind of shines.
Where would you say is the most exciting wine region to keep an eye on at the moment?
Certainly, I think one of the areas we've added most in terms of percentage in the last 2 or 3 years is English wines. We've gone from 2 fairly mediocre English wines to about 12 pretty decent, top quality kind of wines that I'm excited to show people with a tasting menu, and the feedback's been phenomenal. People are being really impressed.
Okay, so Garry, I'm going to go and have a forage in the cellar and see what I can find. Now, my tastes are very Italian. I like my Italian wines, so I'm gonna try and dig out a few, and perhaps you can recommend one to me. We've got some Beaujolais. I think, though, I'm going to stay out of France and go to Italy. So we've got Sassicaia 2001, the Super Tuscan, the famous, iconic Italian wine. So it's a good start. Moccagata Barbaresco. We'll definitely pull one of these out. I've chosen 3 wines for Garry to choose from. The Quercibella 2009 Chianti Classico, a Cannonau di Sardegna 1995 by Cantina Argiolas, and Moccagata's 2009 Barbaresco.
First up, we've got the Quercibella, which is a Chianti Classico from the Tuscany region of Italy, 2009 vintage. It's quite a robust style of wine. Classico's the heart of the Chianti region, so it's kind of the heartland, the centre point. So this is the Touriga from Sardinia in Italy. It's made from Cannonau, which is a synonym for Grenache, but it's quite different to Spanish Garnacha. You've got a lot of dark, intense fruit character coming through there, a little bit of spice, a bit of richness to the wine, and really interesting with gamey foods. Lastly, we've got the Moccagata Barbaresco, 2009 vintage. Moccagata is a reasonably new estate. 2009 was the second vintage they produced.
So which of these would you recommend? The Moccagata Barbaresco. Excellent. It's a lovely colour, sort of garnet brown. It looks like a very mature wine, but actually it's only 2009. Okay, so there's some nice bitter cherry flavours on the palate. The acidities, it's playful. It's a nice young wine. I think this is going to get a lot better over the next 5 to 7 years.